Welcome to Review Every Ship by CitizenCon 2024. The point is to give an update on every ship since some haven't had a video made about them in years, and others because the information is simply too spread out to be helpful in making decisions. Remember, digital ships aren't imaginary, digital ships are imagine-necessary. Every month we do a giveaway. This month's giveaway prize will be a Gataxulian with lifetime insurance and 2 paints. To enter, subscribe to the channel, like or dislike all the videos from this month, and leave a comment on all the videos from this month. We are still running a rare second contest where if you bring 3 people in to purchase the game with at least 2 using the code you see on the screen, we'll reward you any one of your choice between a Saber Firebird or a pack, including a Ursa Medevac, MPUV Tractor, and Aurora MR. Everything has lifetime insurance. For the full giveaway details, make sure you visit our Billionaire Ninjas Discord or our social media at Ninjas Leap. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. We are still at the Drake manufacturer. Yes, even after this gigantic break we've taken from reviewing ships because of the 3.23 update. And the next ships are the Drake Cutter series, and it's 3 variants. We have the Cutter Base, $45 standalone, 45 War Bond, same at concept, cost about $635K in game. The Scout, $50 standalone, 45 War Bond was 45 at concept, cost about $706,000 in game. The Rambler, $50 standalone, $45 War Bond, and 45 at concept. Cost about $741K in game. The Cutter Base is always available for the Cutter series. The rest are time limited for purchase. These ships are not available to rent in game as of 3.23.1a, except for the Cutter Base. For the sake of clarity and brevity, I think I meant brevity. I said brevity, but I like the word brevity better. Maybe we should make that a word. Anyway, I will call each of these by their unique names. We'll call the Cutter Base the Base. We'll call the Cutter Scout the Scout, and the Cutter Rambler the Rambler. Designed for hardworking folks of all stripes, the Cutter packs 4 SCU of cargo room and plenty of wallop into a rough and tumble compact frame. It's a ship that truly embodies the spirit of Drake, that no matter who you are or what you do, you can reach the stars. Building on that do-it-all attitude of the original Cutter, the Scout takes its combat and utility abilities further with improved weapons and scanning components. Support a small fleet or go it alone, the Cutter Scout is a versatile starter ship that doesn't compromise where it counts. The pilot favorite Cutter chassis, outfitted for long hauls and extended engagements, go ahead, take the scenic route with the Cutter Rambler. Welcome back, Cutter.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
Welcome back, Cutter, not Cotter, Steve. Come on, Steve. We just started doing ship reviews again, and you're already... For measurements, the Base, the Scout, and the Rambler are all the same. Length 20 meters, beam 13 meters, height 6 meters. That means as far as in-game ships as of 3.23.1a, only the 890 Jump can carry a Cutter within its hangar. For crew, the Cutter series all have the same minimum crew, which is 1 and a maximum crew of 1. The Base carries 4 SCU, the Scout and the Rambler both have 2 SCU. All the Cutters have the same speeds and maneuverability, a top SCM speed of 180 and a max speed of 1010. The SCM speed is slightly below average overall. The SCM speed is way below average for its class size, however, reaching the bottom 5 ships. Only the Vulture, Hull A, and Prospector are worse. The nav speed is average overall. The nav speed is way below average for its class size, however, reaching the bottom 3. Only the Hull A and Prospector are worse. For maneuverability, the Cutter series is about average overall as of 3.23.1a, and as far as the small class of ships, it's below average. For weapons, the Cutter Base comes stock with 2 size 1 weapons, which are 2 laser repeaters. It has no turrets. It also has 2 size 1 missiles. For ship parts, the Cutters all have the same parts. The whole series has 1 small radar, 1 small computer, 1 small power plant, 2 small coolers, 1 small shield generator, 1 small fuel intake, 2 small fuel tanks, a small quantum drive, a small jump module, 2 small quantum fuel tanks. The Rambler, however, adds an additional small hydrogen fuel tank and an additional small quantum fuel tank. The hull HP for the base is 17,000, the Scout is 17,400, the Rambler is 17,000, which are average overall and average for its size. The shields on the base are the Hex civilian grade B shields, which are bubble type shields. The shield pool is about 1,500 and it regens at about 67 HP per second. And also the Scout and the Rambler both have the same shields. Those are the Hex civilian grade B shields. For quantum capability, the base comes with Foxfire competition grade B quantum drives. It travels 20,000 kilometers in about 4.5 minutes and has a range of 333 gigameters. If you don't know what gigameters are, you're going to have to Google that one. That means it can travel to most places in the verse and return multiple times without needing to stop for fuel along the way. The Scout and the Rambler both have the same quantum drive. However, the Rambler gets a little bit more distance, getting to 500 gigameters total travel capacity because of that extra fuel capacity. Some special features for these ships that all of them have, let's say amenities, are at least one bed, a bathroom, weapon storage, and a small amount of personal storage for items. The Scout includes a radar scanner for finding entities in space. The Rambler has a food processor, extra weapon storage, adds an armor locker, and of course, extra hydrogen and quantum fuel. Now it's time to rate this ship, a rating I rate from 1 to 10. My 1 is only buy if you have a unique reason that is specific to you or because you like the looks of the ship. My 10 is if you have the money. This ship is almost guaranteed to be useful to you in the game. A 1 doesn't mean the ship is useless or ugly, and a 10 doesn't mean the ship is perfect. Just remember, this is just our rating. Please give us yours in the comments down below, or you can write them down and fold them up origami style, then put those on your desk as an ode to how incredibly correct you are all the time. My rating for this ship is of course going to be handed out based on which variant we are looking at. The base is an 8, the Scout is a 6, and the Rambler is a 7. Let's start with what I like about all these ships. Value, value, value. All of these ships are the best value for what they do in the game, all coming in at least $60 or less than $60. The Cutter base is the ultimate starter ship. The Scout is basically a Terrapin without all the extra armor, but with dedicated cargo space and costs way less money. And the Rambler is easily the longest range ship of its class, making it excellent for exploration. What I like about the base is that it has a little bit of all the things most people are interested in doing, with the exception of dogfighting. A bit of cargo, a bit of multi-crew, a bit of piracy, a bit of bounty hunting, a bit of exploring, and it can fit a small 2-person vehicle. What I like about the Scout is that it's the Terrapin that we should have received. It's literally a quarter of the price of the Terrapin and does almost everything that the Terrapin does. It's not as good looking as the Terrapin, but I'm not sure I want to pay $160 more for better ship armor rather than just upgrading the entire ship for that amount. The Scout is just the best value scout ship in the game. What I like about the Rambler is the extremely long range at a ridiculously cheap price. Pop a Mirai Pulse on the back of this thing and go as far as you want, with plenty of fuel to get back. So the issues with all these ships are the Cutter is just a bit plain on the interior for me, and that's all 3 variants, which is an issue I have with all Drake ships, so I can't really blame the Cutter specifically. The base, well, its issues are very minor, but I wish it had a food processor and better weapons and armor storage. The Scout just has a lack of extra SCU space. I feel like 3 SCU would have been the better storage capacity for this one. The Rambler is excellent, but I would rather have the extra SCU space than the armor. Better yet, I'd rather have it rather than the armor, the weapons, the fuel. I'd rather just have the extra SCU space because after all, this is a starter ship and there are much better ships that focus on ground combat and exploration, such as the C8R, which has a med bed to respawn in. However, this is the better explorer ship as far as value. So how would I fix these ships? The base, I also think I would upgrade to size 2 weapons and maybe 4 size 2 missiles and add a food processor, and that would make this a lot more useful in the fight. The Scout needs an extra SCU and food processor. The Rambler needs to give up the suit locker for extra SCU space or get the same upgrades that I mentioned for the base. So who are these ships for? Well, pretty much anyone can use a Cutter base, which is why it's an 8. The Scout is for Terrapin owners when they are ready to get realistic about the value of the Terrapin, even though I love that little turtle. The Rambler is for explorers on a budget. I imagine using the base as my, I'm not sure what I want to do today, but I need a cheap ship to go long range from point A to point B. The Scout is for when I need to check something out that isn't worth enough money to bring out a larger ship, and also I need to check something out that doesn't require stealth to check it out. The Rambler would be my little RV for when I want to go to a different Star Citizen universe, planet, or I would say probably solar system, and not worry about getting pirated because I'm not worth the trouble. I know you're here for R rating, but if you really want a ship, go buy it. We won't stop you. Or even better, all ships can be earned in-game once the game releases, and some you can purchase in-game right now. These are just our ratings, but when you spend, it's your money. My opinion, the Cutter series is the best starter ship series in the game. That being said, they are all very cheap to earn in-game, so I would suggest earning them in-game, but if you just can't wait, or if you are starting the game, a game package with the base first is what you should go for, and upgrade to the Scout and Rambler if those are the ones that you prefer. That is it for this one. Thanks for spending your time with us. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.